Hey everybody, we're back with another
Hey!
installment of Moving Forward with Denise and Greg.
Yay! Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
We've got a,
Today,
yeah, look who's here.
we have a special guest, a dear friend of ours, Miranda Smith. She is out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she went through the same course that we took with Dorothy Brenninger. And she is just like a wonder organizer. She is owner of Organizing with Mo. We call her Miranda, but she sometimes goes by Mo, and we are delighted and ecstatic to have her here. We haven't seen her in a while, so welcome, Miranda.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And she answers to Amanda too.
Yes, I do.
Little joke. Okay, never mind.
Well, as you know, last week we did our segment about organizing with children and games that you could play to organize, to teach children organizational skills. And so we thought it would be a great idea to have Miranda on, because Miranda is the mother of 3 beautiful children. And if you have not seen her YouTube videos or anything, you do TikToks too, right, Miranda?
Not as much. Instagram and Facebook are kind of where most of my stuff is. But.
Yeah, she has some really neat videos where she shows the before, and then she snaps her fingers and
Yeah.
yeah, she changed it. And then organizing the playroom, that was a great one. So Miranda, what would you say is the number, like, do you play organizing games with your children to help clean up the house?
Well, I am competitive, and my 3 children, well, 2 of my 3 children are as well. So I do actually have incentives for them depending on what we're doing or whatever. Like, okay, so let's, I'll put a timer on or whatever, and I'll be like, okay, so who can do this the fastest? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't seem like work. It's more of like a play thing. And then usually it's like, okay, whoever wins, whoever picks this up or whatever, they get to pick the movie for tonight, or something where it's something that we were already going to do, but it makes it to where it's like, oh, there's more of a reason to do it quicker. So kids
Now,
have
how
very
old
short
are your
attention
children?
spans. So
Sorry, what did you say?
I said kids have very short attention spans, so the faster that we can get something accomplished, the easier it is. The longer it takes, the more likely they're just gonna quit or give up or go focus somewhere else. So
Yeah.
Well, like anybody,
yeah.
if an activity that I'm not interested in takes too long, I'm out.
Right.
Now, how old are your children?
So I have she's now 7. I have a 7-year-old, and then I have 4-year-old twins. So fun.
Now, does the 7-year-old also participate in the competition?
Oh yes. Oh yes, very much so. Yeah.
Great. Greg, did you have?
I'm just thinking, do these games work for spouses?
Right?
Or clients?
Yes, right. I do pass on some of those tips to clients. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. And you know what? Dorothy does that kind of thing when we go on the hoarder shoots too. Sometimes she has games like that, just to mix things up a little bit and make things a little bit more interesting. Now, Miranda, do you find that your children are learning the skills they need, like when if the house, let's say the house is not a wreck, but their things are all over, or there are some things around the house, are they able to pick up on their own without you managing the whole thing?
They are starting to, because I've implemented things that are working well for them. For example, one of my favorite things that I have done with my kids, and I do it for myself too, is I went and bought 3 different colored tubs with handles. And basically that's what I call the pickup tubs, right? So I have them, I use them for laundry too, but basically when it's time to pick up, right? I give them each their tub. I'm like, okay, go get your tubs. They're empty. I keep them empty so that when we need to use them, they're ready. And we start on one end of the house. And, I will basically say, okay, Anara, anything that belongs in your room goes in your tub. So that way, as we go through the house, it's getting picked up, but it's not like you're wasting all this energy going back and forth with one or two items, right? It's collected in one. And then, so now I can say, okay, it's time to pick up, go get your tubs. They'll do that without instruction now as much. But yeah, and I think the basis for success when it comes to toys, because toys are constantly birthdays. I just had, my daughter just had a birthday party. So what do you do? You've got all these new things coming in, right? And with my daughter who's 7, she loves crafts. There's like a bajillion little pieces, they're in the box. Then we open them, they don't go in the box anymore,
Right.
So it's making sure that every item has a home, right? We don't have a toy room. So it's one of those things where if you make sure an item has a home, then it's easier for the children to get them from point A to point B, wherever that is. So.
And the children need to know what that home is, and it can't be ambiguous, right? It's got to be very, very clear and easy to access.
Right. Yeah. And so what I've with like, let's say the toy room, I know you guys talked about that a little bit in your last session, but we don't have a toy room. So a lot of the toys are in the living room, right? Or they're in a common space. So what I will do is, again, we'll get out those tubs, but I'll assign a kid a toy. So for example, my son, usually almost always, okay, all the cars, they're yours. You pick them up and put them where they go. Iovi, you're on dinosaurs. You get all the dinosaurs, so it allows them, like you were talking last week, to group things. They know what dinosaurs are. They know what cars are. They know what they are. And so then I do my little timer. Okay, here's the timer. On your mark, get set, go. And then once they know the rules, then it's just like, I turn around, I'm like, I didn't have to pick this up, which is this is a big key for me with parents who have kids, young kids. It's not your job to pick up after them, or they'll never learn, right? If you don't allow them to pick up the messes that they made, then you are doubly tired. You're doing your work, and then you got to turn around and pick up these messes that they made.
Girl, you're singing my song.
Yeah. And
that can't just be the dinosaur messes. It's got to be all of, a lot of their messes.
That
the mess
carries
you made
over
about not handing in homework. The mess you made about, being ugly to a friend.
No,
that's the mess you clean up.
Yeah, that carries all the way over into adulthood. I know, we've all had clients, or we know friends, and you're going, you were never taught to put anything away.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too with my daughter, like with Anara, I'm like, she'll want to get something like her birthday gifts, like she'll open something and she'll be like, okay, I want to open this, or I want to get this out. And I'm like, nope, I still see the last thing you got out all over the floor, or your bedroom floor is not picked up with whatever you played with. That has to be picked up first. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm trying to teach her that if she sees something on the ground and she wants to do something else, nope, I need to put this away first. So it's just retraining, it's training your brain.
And you can even begin, this is like in a rehearsal for me. You can even begin going, now, wait, what is it you're supposed to do? I'm not going to tell you what you're going to have to do now, because you know what the answer is. What do you need to do? And then they go, oh, I'm supposed to pick that up, right? Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will add to that, because my children are 24 and 22 now, it does not, just because you're laying the foundation when they're 2 and 4 and 7 and 10 and whatever, doesn't mean that it's going to stick all the time, because children are children and they need the reminders.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you this. Here's a great story. Okay. Both of my kids have moved out. Adam moved out last year. Evan moved out in April. And I just have to laugh about the little stories that they come home with about things not necessarily getting put where they belong, or something's a mess
with their roommates or whoever. Oh, okay.
So I'm just sitting there going, It worked. It worked. This is not my house. You can have your house however you want it, but it's just nice to hear that, they didn't leave here knowing that they should just throw their stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. I'm learning, like, some kids obviously are naturally good at picking up stuff, or like clutter bothers him. And then there's kids that it doesn't, and I, like, my oldest is the same way. It doesn't bother her if stuff's all over her floor. Right. So what I've started doing is, okay, that's fine. If there's stuff on the floor, that's fine. You're a kid. You can be, this is your space, whatever. But 5 minutes before it's time to go to bed, you've got 5 minutes to pick it up, or XYZ for tomorrow. You don't get to go to the library tomorrow, or you don't get to, what I'm saying? Like, things that they enjoy doing. No popsicle stick, after playing outside. So it puts into perspective, like, okay, it doesn't bother me, but these are rules that my mom has set. So I'm going to respect those rules, and I'm going to pick up the floor before I go to bed. Just small things that, again, don't take a lot of time, but it allows them, if you do it enough, it becomes a habit where you don't want to go to bed if there's stuff on your floor. That's what I'm trying to implement with them.
I always go towards the financial of that is, how much did that cost? And do you like having it on the floor? If I take, what is your most prized possession in here? It's probably not on the floor. It's probably sitting. Let's put it on the floor. And let's put it on the living room floor. And I'm going to walk around it. Not that you would do that, but just the idea, because I've had that with music teachers where the kids leave their music on the floor or the folders around, and there may be $30, $40, $50 worth of music in there, and the teachers grab it and they pretend it's missing. And the rule is, if you can't find your folder, you pay me for the music. And they have to pay for the music. And now, guess what? It's not on the floor anymore.
Exactly.
So if you let kids know, look, that is $5, that is $10. Give them the financial idea that this is not free things. Right. This is all money that's laying on the floor. Do you want it? Do you not want it? Because eventually, if it stays on the floor, I'm mean. If it stays on the floor, it eventually is going to go away. So what do you like? You like it? If you like it on the floor, it'll be there one more week. But, just the idea, my mom was like that. It's like, no, things are not free, Mr. Gregory. Things aren't free. And so she taught us, put it. Right. But I think the biggest secret you said, and it works with adults, it has to have a place. If it doesn't have a place, who knows where it should go? I don't even know where it goes,
Yeah.
I think
right.
that's important.
And, with children too, a lot of times, we are blessed when we have abundance, but abundance can be a curse when we have so much stuff we don't know or don't have a place to put things.
Yeah.
So, that's something to think about as well. Is it really necessary, or is just the plain old cardboard box enough?
Oh, yes. I love
Well, and I've been trying to talk to my kiddos about donating, and what does that mean? Like, hey, we don't play with this very much, or we don't wear this as much, or maybe we do wear it, but it's just too small now. What can we do? Well, this could go to another little boy or girl that would love to wear this, that would look so pretty in this. And so I'm trying to help them understand ways to let go, because that's a struggle for kids, right? Like, they think that everything they have is very important, even though they haven't played with it in years, or, like a while, like, no, you can't let go. You can't take my toy, that sort of thing. And so trying to help them realize, like, you had fun with it. Now let's give it to somebody else who can also be blessed with it or enjoy it. And I do that too with adults when I do closets and stuff. Yeah. When there's a struggle to let go of items, I'm like, hey, like, this hasn't been worn in this long, but what if this homeless person or somebody that just is dire need, what if they could really use this? And then it kind of shifts your mindset a little bit about looking at that in a different way. Because I know for kids, it's like, again, maybe it's just from where we live, but it's more of like a, what can I get? What can I have society versus look how blessed we are to have this. What can I do to bless others with what I have?
Yeah. One idea, instead of just donating, and there's nothing wrong with Goodwill, any of those places. But there are items that the fire department want. And it'd
Oh.
be cool to take a trip with your kids to meet the firemen and make a donation, because they like to take toys. They like, you can check in your local area what they will take. But a
Mhm.
lot of them, when there is a house burning and there's a family in front of it, they give them toys and items to calm.
Mm.
And
Yeah, that's
that'd be
fantastic.
cool. That'd be cool to take your kids there. Let's meet the
Yeah.
firemen this month, and we're going to take them things.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We did have a garage sale. My mother-in-law had a garage sale a couple weeks ago or whatever. And so what I did was I went through and I was like, okay, so we're gonna pick out some toys. You guys pick them out that you want to try to sell. And out of what we're selling, we're going to use that money for, donating to, I think my oldest wanted to do an orphanage or whatever, so like I kind of talked to them about different ideas of what they could do with the money that they sold from these toys that they're not using. We made dog treats and she sold dog treats. And so some of what she made, she wanted to donate, so trying to, how can we pass along? What can we do to not just, oh, I'm going to sell it so I can buy more stuff for me. What can we
Right.
do with this and stuff like that. So that was kind of a cool
Yeah.
thing. So we hadn't done that before. So
Yeah.
You're a superstar, Mom Miranda.
I don't know about that, but it was fun to see them excited about picking out what toys they wanted to try to sell. And you know what I'm saying? Like it was just
Yeah.
kind of a fun little thing to do that and say, okay, now we're going to do this, and one of the things I do want to try to do is take them to the store and let them pick out a toy that they can then take, like you said, Greg, to a fire station or somewhere like that, to where they can actually physically hand the toy over and realizing this toy isn't for you, you don't get to open it, and just kind of getting to do something like that. So
Mhm.
that's kind of fun too.
Great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, that's wonderful. Would
Well,
you, while we got the moment, is it okay if we ask Miranda to tell us? Because if you share this, Miranda, your area is going to know. Tell us everything you do, because you're an organizer, you're a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Like, give us the whole thing and your websites and all that.
Yeah. No, I'm obviously organizing with Mo. You mentioned that. That's my website as well. And then I do real estate also. So that's kind of a fun thing.
What's the name of who do you do that with?
Coldwell Banker. I work with Coldwell Banker. So
Okay.
that's a fun side thing. This is obviously it's actually cool to be able to see that side of real estate and kind of know, like with packing and unpacking jobs, stuff like that, how that works and what can be beneficial to my buyers and sellers, but also to my organizing clients if they're getting ready to list or sell their house, that sort of thing. So that's been a fun experience as well.
Yeah.
So
What's your favorite organizing job? Like, not the job, but like if you get called and they go, "We need you to," what
yeah.
is your favorite thing to do?
Well, so far, some of my funnest things is I've been able to organize several preschool resource rooms, which is like, mass chaos of like so many different colors and things, and then turning it into more of an organized space that multiple people can use, trying to figure out what's the best system for multiple people to come in, use it, and it stay organized. So that's been a really
That's
fun process.
great in a home, because
Yeah.
generally the toys are in the living space and you got to
Mhm.
make it work for everybody.
Right.
That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
wow.
that's been really fun. Just trying to be like, okay, this is a big space, how can I break down the process of getting organized, but also making it look really good. And
What's
I
your
just
number
love
one
all the
tip?
colors.
What's your
Yeah.
number
Huh.
one tip? Like one tip when a person goes down their family room and go, "I need this to be for everybody."
Hmm. I think I really feel like it boils down to the whole, everything has to have a home. If it doesn't have a home, if you don't start with a space that's home, and that's the thing, like people think, oh, I don't know how to do that, but really you do. It's just about giving an item that you feel you want to keep, make a space for it. And if there's not a space, okay, so what needs to come out to make space for that? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be an overwhelming hard concept. I think for a lot of people, they feel like it is. I don't know how to do that or what, but it's prioritizing what are keeps and not keeps,
Yeah.
and then out of the keeps, you know, how do I do that? So
Yeah.
when you look at a big space, the first step is remove what you don't want. Right. So
Yeah.
with the resource rooms, I had to, you know, the directors and I would come in and we just had to, what do you not want? Do you need this? No, no, no. Okay, let's get it out. Like that's just the first step. So with
Yep.
the toy room, a family room, what is in here that we just don't need? We don't use, you know?
Yeah.
So
Make
Do you
room.
do you find that you get stuck then? Like we'll say, okay, we don't want this and this paint mixer in this room, whatever.
It happens.
Just as an example, we don't want this paint mixer in this room, so get it out. And then the client says, well, where are we going to put it? And then all of a sudden, like the whole thing stops because they get fixated on where is that thing going to go. I need you back here with me. That will
Right.
take care of itself when we start talking about garage items, home repair items, whatever. But
You
we
know
just know it doesn't go in the dining room.
it's funny though. I don't know if I've really had a client that once they've decided they don't want it in the space, they don't really ever ask me what I'm going to do with it. They're just like, okay, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So what we try to do when I walk through is like, okay, so if you know that it's a get rid of, like, it's almost like in their mind, I just remove it, whether we put it in the garage or whatever. Once it's like out of the space, it's almost like it's out of their brain. And I haven't really had anybody that's been like, oh, wait, I changed my mind. I want it back in here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, it's all about physically just getting it out of the room as quickly as possible.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
quickly as possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had clients that literally we're working on one area of the garage because I need them to be there, and I'm going over here. They just
Yeah.
start going through because they don't know what they have, and now they're going,
Right.
no, over here.
Stay with me.
Yeah, they do not
Well-
want to do it like this at all. They're just like,
Well, and one thing I've noticed with people that have done that too is that in their brain, they see an item that they know they want to keep and they think they have to go take it to that space right then, instead of, like Denise has talked about in the past, making sorting groups in the
Yes.
space you're in. So you save, this is whole bucket concept I have with my kids and the toys and laundry. Like you're saving yourself so many steps
yeah,
by putting everything in sorting groups and
Yeah.
then take it at one time to the bathroom.
because you
to
don't
the
even
living
know
room.
how much you've got until you get it in the group and you go, oh my gosh, we have a
Right.
lot of that one thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun, isn't it? I just,
Well, we love doing it anyway.
it's fun until about 3 p.m., honestly. And then after there, I start losing my mind a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty good till 3. It's like Disney World. Everyone loses their mind after 3 at Disney
Yeah,
World.
just let's not even go.
Any
there.
more questions for Miranda, Denise?
No, I
This is-
just love talking to Miranda.
I
don't.
know.
Miranda has given us so much information. Oh, you're so sweet, so cute. I love you, Miranda.
We're going in our 3rd year of friendship. Can you believe
I
it?
know, right?
It's
Oh my
amazing.
goodness. So I can't wait for all the more memories we get to make doing crazy stuff.
I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you have
Miranda,
been
thanks
awesome.
for taking the time to come and chat with us, and
Yeah, of
all
course.
of our viewers.
We love all 3 of you. Thank you for joining us. We'll get it.
Well, Miranda, thanks again. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All our love to the kiddos and your family,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you
and
so
to
much.
you, and congratulations on all your success.
Yes, thank you so much. And
We'll
hopefully
have-
we'll see
we'll
you
have-
guys again soon.
Yeah, we'll have you back and we'll just break down a room maybe. Like
Oh yeah, that'd be
we'll just
awesome. Let's do
talk
it.
about a room. Yeah.
Let's do
Break it down.
Break it down. All right. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.